I still pass that old cafe where we used to laugh away every worry, every doubt. Back when love was all around, now the chairs are empty here. I told myself I'd let you go, that time would help me move along. But sometimes late at night I know my heart still sings your song. If you ever came back to me, would you find the same old heart? Would the pieces fit again where they once fell apart? I don't know what I would say, or if I'd turn away slowly, or somewhere deep inside of me, I'd hope you came back to me. You try to build back I've tried to build another life, different roads, another sky. But every smile I try to fake still reminds me of your face. Love like ours don't disappear. Maybe fate is playing games, or maybe we're just meant to learn that sometimes hearts can break apart before they ever return. If you ever came back to me, will we pick up where we left? Will we laugh about the past, or regret the words unsaid? I don't know what I would do if I saw your eyes so lonely, but somewhere deep inside of me, I'd hope you came back to me. Maybe time will heal the scars, maybe we'll stay who we are. But love like ours leaves a mark like a fire in the dark. If you ever came back to me, knocking softly at my door, I might try to act so strong, like I don't need you anymore. But the truth I hide so carefully would finally set me free, because my heart never stopped waiting for you to come back to me. The clock keeps moving on the wall, but some moments never leave at all. Your laughter echoes through my mind like a song I couldn't leave behind. I've walked through years and different days, through crowded streets and lonely ways, but every road I travel through still somehow points me back to you. They say that time can heal the past, that broken hearts will never last. But sometimes time just pulls you near. If time brought you back to me, through the years we left behind, will we see what we once had with a clearer state of mind? just to understand it all. Maybe time was meant to guide us here. If time brought you back to me, through the doors we closed before, will we find the strength we lost, standing on this shore? Will we hold on tighter now, knowing what we almost lost? Maybe love was never gone, just waiting across the clock. If we could turn the hands around, back to where our hearts were found, maybe we would choose to stay and never walk away. If time brought you back to me, through the silence and the years, I wouldn't waste another moment, lost inside my fears. I would hold your heart again, like the first night that we met, and prove that love can still survive when time brought you back again. Time brought you back. Time brought you back. Time brought you The city lights are fading slow, another midnight passing by. I sit beside the window here, watching strangers walking by. Every shadow on the street feels like a memory in disguise, like maybe you're just one step away from standing in my life. I've tried to close the door on us, try to leave the past behind, but some dreams refuse to fade when they're written in your mind. If you came back tonight, through the silence and the rain, would the pieces of my heart find their way to you again? Would the words we never said finally see the light? Everything might change if a flame that keeps on burning, even after letting go. If you came back tonight, underneath these tired skies, you would see a hidden light still shining in my eyes. Not a memory turned to dust, not a dream that lost its fight, just a heart that never stopped, waiting for you tonight. There's a shadow in the hallway every time the door swings wide. For a second I imagine that you're standing there outside. Footsteps echo down the street, but none of them are you. Still my heart keeps playing scenes of things we used to do. Try to close a chapter, let the ending find a way. But some nights I still wonder, what if you walk back in, like nothing ever changed? Will the silence break apart, or will we stand there strange? Would we laugh about the past and fall apart again? I keep asking my lonely heart, what if you walk back in? What if you walk back in? I've been learning how to live with the quiet you left behind, feeling empty hours slowly, trying not to rewind. But some memories refuse to fade into the grave. They shine like old streetlights on a rainy yesterday. I tell myself it's over, that the road has reached its end, but dreams keep asking softly, what if you walk back in, through that door tonight, with the broken pieces finally feel right? Will we dare to try again, or just pretend? I keep asking my restless heart, what if you walk back in? What if you walk back in? Maybe time has changed us, maybe we're not the same, but love like ours doesn't vanish without leaving its flame. What if you walk back in, with that familiar smile? Would the years between us disappear for a while? Would I finally understand where we've both been? Or would my heart start beating like it did back then? If you walk back in, if you walk back in. We walked away on different streets, under the same fading sky. Two hearts carry memory, neither brave enough to deny. The world kept spinning like before, cities changed and seasons ran, but somewhere deep inside my soul, your name still crossed again. If our roads cross again someday on a corner of this life, would we stop and speak our truth, or just pass by in silence? Would the years between our hearts disappear like they never came? Or will love start breathing slowly if our roads crossed again? I've met new faces on the way, heard different laughter in the rain, but none of them could ever take the echo of your name, because some stories never end. They just pause somewhere in between, waiting for a second chance. No one's brave enough to dream. Maybe fate keeps drawing lines across the paths we wander in, just to see if we'd still feel the same as back then. If our roads cross again someday in a place we didn't plan, will we see the love we lost in the eyes of who we've been? Will we smile like strangers now, or remember where we've been? I might finally know the answer if our roads crossed again. Sometimes life takes lovers far just to teach the heart to see that the love we once believed in still shapes who we'll always be. If our roads cross again someday, after all the years have gone, maybe we would understand why we couldn't hold on. Maybe love was never lost, just waiting somewhere in the end for the moment fate decide our roads will cross again. I still remember how you left, a quiet storm I couldn't stop, your shadow fading down the street, my heart still beating in that spot. The world kept turning like before, but something in me stayed the same, like time was paused behind the door. The moment someone said your name, I tried to bury all the time, tell myself the past would end, but hope keeps whispering softly about the day you come back again. Will the silence break apart? Will the miles between the years finally free my heart? I don't know if love would stay, or if the pain would remain, but everything might change the day you come back again. days, but every sunset in the sky still paints your memory in its rays. I built a life from shattered dreams and slowly found my strength again. Yet some small part of me still dreams about the road that might bend. Maybe fate is other plans. Maybe love just needed time. Maybe someday destiny will redraw our line. The day you come back again, through the door I used to know, will we speak like strangers now, or let the old love show? Will we laugh about the past or cry inside the rain? I might finally understand the day you come back again. The day you come back again. Maybe hearts can heal and grow. Maybe distance helps us see that sometimes love must disappear before it can return to be. The day you come back again. If that moment ever comes, I won't ask where you've been lost or where your road has run. I'll just look into your eyes and feel the truth remain, that love never truly left. The day you come back again. Ooh. The road we took has grown so quiet. Dust on memories we once knew. Every mile I kept on walking still somehow leads me back to you. Different cities, different skies, different dreams I tried to own, but there's a place inside my heart that still feels like your home. I told myself that love can fade, that time can make the past let go, but some doors never truly close. If you found your way back home, through the years and through the miles, would you recognize the love still hiding in my smile? If the world brought you back here, where our old memories roam, I'd still be standing at the door. If you found your way back home. I've tried to write a different story, turn the page and move along, but every chapter in my future still remembers where you belong. Maybe life just pulled us apart like waves across the sea, but the tide of love we had still whispers back to me. And if someday you get lost wind still carries echoes of the words we left unsaid, like footprints in the sand that the ocean never swept. I've walked 1,000 mornings, trying not to turn and see if maybe somewhere down the road you're coming back to me. I try to lock the memory inside a distant place, but every quiet evening still remembers your face. When you finally return, after all the years have gone, will the silence start to fade like the ending of a song? Will our broken hearts remember how the rhythm used to burn? I might finally understand when you finally return. I've learned to live with distance, learned to breathe without your name, but every star above me still feels exactly the same. Because somewhere in the darkness of the nights I wander through, there's always been a small belief the road will lead to you. Maybe time was testing us, maybe love just needed space, maybe destiny was waiting for the moment we'd embrace. When you finally return through the door you closed before, will we talk like old strangers, standing on the floor? Or will our hearts remember everything we learned? Maybe love will rise again when you finally return. Not every goodbye is forever, not every ending stays. Sometimes love just disappears to find a better